Lord Varaha's transcendental appearance to uplift the Mother Earth, which was submerged in the nether region of the lower planetary systems by the demon. Which demon? Hiranyaksha. So the Lord has appeared. Lord had a fierce fighting with the demon. So in this today's three verses, it is described that so the Lord killed the demon just like a lion kills an elephant. So because when before that the Lord had uplifted the Mother Earth, kept on his tusk, and after that he has killed the demon Hiranyaksha, and then because of his killing, so the cheeks and tongue of the Lord became smeared with the blood of the demon, and the Lord was looking like an elephant, which becomes reddish from the digging in the purple earth. So generally, the earth contains different varieties of minerals. So whenever an animal, including elephant also digs earth. It is said that whenever there is a drought, so the elephant using his tusks, it digs the earth to find the water. So because of the minerals, so the color of the earth also changes from place to place. So here it is compared that elephant, when it is digging earth, it becomes reddish or purple color earth. So similarly, the Lord, the tusk and his cheeks were also smeared with the blood of the Hiranyaksha demon. So here two animals, lion and elephant, are described to describe the fighting between the Lord Varaha and Hiranyaksha. So lion as well as elephant, both are powerful animals in that way. They are considered one of the few very, very powerful animals in the forest. But even though the elephant may be powerful, even bigger in the size compared to the lion with its bodily structure, but lion can easily kill. So here this simile, the comparison is given to show that this is the observation which the denizens of the higher planetary systems, Brahma and other sages, what they saw when the Lord was killing Hiranyaksha. So basically it is their description. So how did they saw the Lord? Just like a lion killing an elephant. So here elephant, even though it may be very powerful, but in front of the lion, it cannot fight. Its strength becomes diminished. So Hiranyaksha was also a very powerful demon. Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, both demon brothers. They were so powerful that they had terrorized the whole heavenly planets. All the devatas, they were afraid of Hiranyaksha's orders, Hiranyakashipu's orders. So if he moves his eyebrows, devatas would dance according to his movement of the eyebrows. So he was so powerful to that extent. So, but how much more powerful they may be, but in front of the Lord, any powerful demon, how much more powerful he may be, his power, his prowess cannot prolong in front of the Supreme Lord. So that's why this comparison is given, just like a lion kills an elephant. So even though powerful, but in front of the lion, it has to lose its energy. So then in the next verse it mentioned that just like the Lord playing like an elephant suspended the earth on the edge of his curved white tusks. So then he assumed the bluish complexion like that of a tamāla tree. And thus sages headed by Brahma could understand him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offered prayers unto the Lord. So after killing of Hiranyaksha, so the sages are offering prayers to the Lord. So in this verse, Rishya Uchuhu, Jitam Jitam Te Ajita Yagna Bhavana. So they have used so wonderful terminologies or glories of the Lord to offer prayers. So one of the name of the Lord is Uttama Shloka. So what is the meaning of Uttama Shloka? He is glorified with best of the verses or choicest of the verses. So best of the words. So the Lord has to be described because He is the Supreme Lord. He is the master of the entire material, spiritual, both the creations. So here the sages are using such wonderful words. Jitam jitam te ajita yagna bhavana. So they are saying all glories unto you. To whom? That Supreme Lord who is Ajita, who is unconquerable, and who is Yagya Bhavana, one who is understood by performance of sacrifices, or one who is the master of all the Vedic sacrifices. Then Trayim Tanum Swam Paridunvate Namaha. Then yadhroma garteshu nililyur adhyas. Yadhroma garteshu. So in his bodily, the bodily hairs, in that pores exist what? The oceans. The ocean. So as mentioned here, in the hair holes of your body, the oceans are submerged. So that's the prowess, that's the strength of the Supreme Lord. Then tasmai nama karanaya shukarayate. Tasmai nama, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you, te unto you. To whom? Karana shukaraya. The Lord Varaha, who has appeared for a particular purpose, karana, for a reason. So for what, which reason? To uplift the earth. So in this way, the sages are glorifying Lord Varahadeva when he appeared. So in the purport, Prabhupada mentions, the Lord can assume any forms as he likes, and in all circumstances, he is the cause of all causes. Bhagavatam says, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So he is the Supreme Primeval Personality of Godhead, irrespective of whether whichever the form he takes. Whether Krishna was a 3-month-old baby in the house of Nanda Maharaj in the lap of Mother Yashoda, or where Krishna was 16-year-old boy, or 8-year-old boy, 7-year-old boy when he lifted Govardhan hill, or he performed such wonderful activities. And when he was elder, when he was grown up, he killed many demons. Then he killed all the Kshatriya dynasty in Kurukshetra. Or whether Lord is taking the form of as a boar, or as a fish, or as a tortoise. So any incarnation, any form Lord may take, but there is no dearth of his prowess or his energy. So that's what Prabhupada is mentioning. Since his form is transcendental, he is always a Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the Lord can perform all his activity irrespective of what is his age, what is his form. So he was just 3 months old baby when Putana came to kill Krishna. So everyone was surprised ki how did that 3-month-old baby kill such a big demon? What was the length of the body of the Putana? It was 8 miles when she was killed. So her body fell on the ground. So it was 8 miles long, and Krishna was sitting on the chest, drinking the breast milk of Putana. So Lord need not have to be, only has to be adult, only has to acquire, that kind of a body. No, he's Supreme Lord irrespective of whatever the form he takes. But what happens? Only these kind of things, just like here, who is actually offering prayers? The denizens of Janaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka or Satyaloka. So only the very elevated, great, austere devotees only can see and appreciate the form of the Lord like this. Otherwise, when Hiranyaksha saw the Lord Varaha appear, Lord Vishnu appeared in the form of Varaha as a boar, he saw that you are a beast, you are a cheater, you have to kill me, you have come in the form of a beast, you have taken this kind of a form, which is considered very, very lowest. Generally, if you see pig, how we feel. On the other way, if you see any other animal, say like a rabbit or some peacock or deer, we feel little good to see. But pig is not a animal which people feel good about that. So that's why Hiranyaksha, when he saw that, he saw him in the form of a pig. What kind of form you have taken to kill me? You are such a big cheater. But whereas devotees, when the rishis, when the sages headed by Brahma, when they are seeing, they are able to see the Supreme Lord not in the form. Of course, they are able to see the boar form, but they are able to see what? Him as a Ajita, Yajna Bhavana, then Karana Shukaraya. So only devotees will be able to see the Supreme Lord in his actual form, in his actual glory, and for what purpose the Lord has appeared. And only they will be able to appreciate. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a nice pastime of Lord Chaitanya. How Lord Chaitanya's pastimes could only be understood by his devotees. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri. He was performing his different Leelas. So one fine day, it so happens that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it was some autumn moonlight, almost similar to Purnima day. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mistook the sea to be Yamuna. So he saw the blue oceans and he thought that it is Yamuna. And in fact, the blue waves so reminded him of Lord Krishna's bodily complexion. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately went into ecstasy and he thought it's Yamuna and he entered the ocean. So when he entered the ocean, when he thought that I'm embracing Krishna's lotus hands, lotus body, by remembering the blue waves, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went into ecstasy. So when he went into ecstasy, he fell unconscious. So we know from the descriptions further that it's described that what was the bodily, what happens during the ecstasy, what is the condition of the body, bodily limbs. So then further, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, he became unconscious. So because of the waves, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going further deep into the sea. So waves carried him into a different place. So all the devotees, Swarup Damodar, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, all these they started searching. They knew that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes in the ecstasy he will feel unconscious, just like how he went to hug, embrace Chataka Parvata, thinking that as a Govardhan Parvat. So they went to different places in searching of him. They went to Tota Gopinath, Chataka Parvat, they went to the Jagannath Mandir, they went to Haridas Thakur Bhajan Kutir. All the places they went and started searching, but it became evening, it became night. Everyone came back with no success. And they all became very anxious. What to do now? Where is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? We don't know where he is. We have fallen unconscious now. So the Chaitanya Charitamrita, beautiful descriptions is there. That while thus wandering near the temple of Atithod, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly saw the sea. So the waves carried him here and there like a piece of dry wood. He went into the sea, then he became unconscious. Who can understand the dramatic performance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Then, Konar khera deke prabhura tarange lana kai, kabu dubena rakhe kabu bhasana lana yai. Keeping the Lord sometimes submerged and sometimes afloat, the waves carried him towards the Konark temple. So then, Yamunere jale kheli gopi gana sange, Krishna karane Mahaprabhu magne sei range. Lord Krishna performed pastimes with the gopis in the waters of Yamuna, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fully merged in those pastimes. So then further, meanwhile, when the devotees headed by Swarup Damodar lost sight of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so they all started searching very anxiously, whereas Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gone. So when they were searching for the Lord, the night ended and they all decided Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is now disappeared. So then they went into different directions. So but Swarup Damodar was confident somewhere Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be in the ecstasy somewhere. So he did not lose the hope. So he starts going towards the shore of the ocean and rivers. So Swarup Damodar proceeded east with others looking for the Lord on the beach or in the water. So passing along the beach, Swarup Damodar, the team headed by Swarup Damodar, they saw a fisherman approaching him with his net over his shoulder, laughing, crying, dancing and singing. He kept repeating the holy name, Hari, Hari. So they saw a fisherman who has become almost like mad, laughing, crying, dancing and singing, and he is chanting Hari, Hari. Then this is a full chapter, the entire chapter descriptions are there. I am reading only the relevant portions, some of the portions I am skipping. Jaliyera cheshta deki sabhara chamatkar, Swarupa gosai thare puchena samachar. Seeing the activities of the fishermen, everyone was astonished. So Swarup Damodar Goswami therefore asked him for information. Kaha jaliya yei deke dekila ekajan, tomare ye dase kene kahata karan. My dear fisherman, he said, why are you behaving like this? Have you seen someone hereabouts? What is the cause of your behavior? Please tell us. Jaliya kahe, ihan eka manushya na dekila, jale wahite eka mrutaka mora, jale aila. The fisherman replied, I have not seen a single person here, but while casting my net in the water, I captured a dead body. बड़ा मत्स्य बलि हामी उथाइला याताने मृतका देखिते मोरा भया हैला मने. I lifted it with great care, thinking it a big fish, bada matsya. But as soon as I saw that it was a corpse, a dead body, great fear arose in my mind. Jhala kasite tara anga sparsha haila, sparsha matre sei bhuta rudaya pashila. So Hridaya Pashila, his heart, as I tried to release the net, I touched the body, and as soon as I touched it, a ghost entered my heart. Hridaya Pashila, a ghost entered my heart. This is how the fisherman is feeling his experience. Bhaya kampa haila mora netra vahejala gadgada vani roma utila sakala. I shivered in fear and shed tears. My voice faltered, and all the hairs on my body stood up. So further he explains, I do not know whether it was the ghost of a dead Brahmana or an ordinary man, but as soon as one looks upon it, it enters his body. The ghost was so powerful, as soon as when someone sees, it enters his body. The ghost enters. The ghost completely takes over his body. The body of this ghost is very long, 5 to 7 cubits. Each of its arms and legs is as much as 3 cubits long. Its joints are all separated beneath the skin, which is completely slack. No one could see it and remain alive in this body. So this is the description Chaitanya Charitamrita describes about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstasy, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in ecstasy, how his body would transform. So all his joints would become separated, and he would become complete, his bodily complexion, the skin would become completely pale, his eyes coming out. So that was the description given here, that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy. Madharupa dari rahe utthana nayana, kabu gon gon kare, kabu rahe achetana. That ghost has taken the form of a corpse, but he keeps his eyes open. Sometimes he utters sound, gone, gone, and sometimes he remains unconscious. I have seen that ghost directly, and it is haunting me. But if I die, who will take care of my wife and children? So the ghost is certainly very difficult to talk about, but I am going to find an exorcist and ask him if he can release me from it. Exorcist means some tantric who can remove ghost, who can treat a ghostly haunted person. I wander alone at night killing fish in solitary places, but because I remember the hymns of Lord Narasimha, ghosts do not touch me. So he is also aware that I have to chant Narasimha while wandering in the night time, so that ghosts don't come near me. But here, Yehi bhuta Narasimha name chapayat vigune, tahara hakar dekite bhaya mane. But this ghost, however, overcomes me with redoubled strength when I chant Narasimha mantra. When I see the form of this ghost, great fear arises in my mind. So even Narasimha mantra is not working for this ghost. This is some, very powerful or different ghost. So then he is telling, do not go there. I forbid you. If you go, the ghost will catch you all. So hearing this, Swarup Damodar could understand the full truth of the matter, and he spoke to the fisherman. So Swarup Damodar is saying, Ami bada oja jani bhute chadaite, mantra padi Shri Hasta dila tanhara mataite. Ami means I am, bada oja jani bhuta chadaite. I am a big exorcist. बड़ा बूथा चढ़ाईते बूथ छुड़वा दूंगा मैं. So Swarup Damodar is saying, I am a famous exorcist, he said, and I know how to rid you of this ghost. He then chanted some mantras and placed his hand on the top of the fisherman's head. Lila, bayana paiha bali sushtira karila. He slapped the fisherman 3 times and said, no, the ghost has gone away, do not be afraid. By saying this, he pacified the fisherman. Eke prema are bhaya dviguna astira, bhaya amsha gela ye haila kichu dhira. The fisherman was affected by ecstatic love, but he was also fearful. He had thus become doubly agitated. Now that this fear had subsided, however, he had become somewhat normal. So then, Ebe bhaya gela tomara mana haila stira, kahan tandre uthan ache, dekhana amare. Now that your fear has gone and your mind is peaceful, please show me where it is. So then fisherman replied, I see the Lord. Swarup Damodar also tells that the form, the body, what you are calling as a dead body haunted by the ghost is none other than Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So please show him. Please take us to where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body is lying. The fisherman replied, I have seen the Lord many times, but this is not he. This body is very deformed. I have seen the Lord many a times, but this is completely deformed body. I am not able to even recognize this. Swarup Damodar is saying, Tandrahaya premera vikara, asti sante chade haite dhirgakara. Vikara means transformation. So what you are calling it as a deformed body is nothing but the transformation because of the ecstasy. So and because of ecstasy, the joints of his bones separate and his body becomes very elongated. So hearing this, the fisherman became very happy, and then he said, okay, he took him to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then all the devotees went there. So after going there, they started chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So the moment they all started chanting Hare Krishna very loudly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regained his consciousness, and they could see how his body is, how he is taking into his normal, normal form, his regular form, like a human form. So from this pastime, we can understand the Lord can perform any kind of pastimes. One of the name of the Lord is Urukrama, the Lord who performs very wonderful feasts or wonderful activities. So as Urukrama, he can perform any pastimes. He can perform wonderful pastimes for the pleasure of the devotees. But those who are devotees, those who properly understand the Supreme Lord as He is, in tattvataha, only they will be able to understand and relish the pastimes of the Lord. Otherwise, demons or non-devotees or atheistic people, they will think, these are all some stories, cooked up stories. So in my school days, we had one sociology teacher. So he looked like he was like some kind of an atheistic person. So he had a lot of influence on many of the students, because generally atheistic people know, so they try to propagate their philosophy. So in every classes, every lectures, he used to put some this kind of thoughts. So he would actually he had told all of us that all these Vedic literatures, whatever we see that if you do some bad things, the Lord will punish. All these things are some fertile brain. He has made cooked up stories so that people don't perform any such wrong things or sinful activity. Otherwise, nothing called as Lord exists. All these stories are cooked up. This is how atheistic persons actually take the Lord's pastimes. But whereas devotees, here the sages are glorifying the Lord like Ajita, Yagya Bhavana, Roma Garteshu. So devotees will be able to see the Lord, just like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, the fisherman couldn't understand. He was thinking some ghost. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's influence was so great that the moment he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, he saw and touched the body, he was actually infected with Harinam. That's why he was chanting Hari Hari. But he is not able to understand that he is infected with Harinam. He is also infected with ecstasy. He is thinking, ghost has haunted me. I am also becoming mad. So that's why in the Krishna book Prabhupada mentions, Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, that when Krishna was there personally performing his pastimes on this world, not that he was moving around, he was singing, he was dancing with the boys, he was performing his Lila's activities, he was ruling. But how many people could understand Krishna as he is, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Prabhupada says only countable number of people. People like Vidura, people like Akrur, people like Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj. Only they could understand Krishna as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, they were actually covered by Yoga Maya potency. They will realize and then they are made to forget whatever they are realized. So understanding Krishna is not actually so easy. Even though Krishna may come in front of us, people ask, can you show me God? Or some pious people, when they come to temple or when we meet some people, they ask, Swamiji, just answer me honestly. Have you ever seen God? Please answer honestly. So they all want to check whether God is visible. That means that if they want to check God is a person or not, when we offer prayers, whether we will appear or not, as devotees, whether we have seen or not, whether we have realized or not realized, but we are thoroughly convinced Lord do exist. He is the Supreme Lord. He is Supreme Lord irrespective of whatever condition. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you are my Supreme Lord, whether you accept me, embrace me, or you makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me, whether you hug me or whether you kick me, you are my Supreme Lord. So that is the symptom of a pure devotion. That's the direction with which devotees have to move. So then we will be able to see, otherwise, even if the Lord comes in front of us, we will not be able to realize. We will think, okay, something has happened. To realize that, one has to first understand Krishna in tattvataha, absolute truth. What is the difference between absolute truth and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is, the absolute truth, Krishna with his name, form, qualities, everything. The Supreme Personality of Godhead means Krishna as an absolute truth, Krishna as the impersonal Brahman, Krishna as Paramatma, Krishna as Bhagavan. All his features are included. That's why Prabhupada translates the word Bhagavan as Supreme Personality Godhead. He is supreme, he is a person, and he is head of all gods, not only demigods, even all Vishnu forms. Echetamsha kalapumsha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So, etechamsha kala means his expansions. So, all is Krishna is the fountainhead, Krishna is the source of all other expansions. That's why he is known as Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. So, when explaining Atmarama verse, which is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgrantha api urukrame kurvanti ahoituki bhaktim ittam bhuta ganoharihi. So here also word urukrama, the Lord who performs wonderful activities, wonderful Lilas, pastimes. So there it is mentioned, this verse indicates that those who are liberated souls are fully self-satisfied will eventually become devotees of the Lord. Who will become devotees of the Lord? Those who are self-satisfied. Atma Ramascha Munayo, the saintly persons, those who are interested in understanding the God, Munis. So when they become self-realized, then they will become devotees of the Lord. The injunction is especially meant for the impersonalist. For the impersonalists have no information of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They try to remain satisfied with the impersonal Brahman, but Krishna is so attractive and so strong that he attracts their minds. This is the purport of this verse. Kurvanti ahaituki bhaktim ittam bhuta ganoharihi. So nirgranthi. Granthi means attachment. Nirgranthi means people, those who are not even attached. Even they become attached to the activities of Urukrama, the pastimes of the Lord Urukrama. So then further Prabhupada mentions, the word Urukrama is used to indicate a highly powerful person. The word Urukrama is used to indicate the act of stepping, and the word Urukrama indicates one who can step forward very far. So basically Urukrama word refers to Lord Vamana, because he appeared as a dwarf Brahmana, very short-heighted. He was about 3.5 feet height. Lord was so short. So everyone, when he asked for 3 feet of land, even Bali Maharaj was surprised. What are you asking, my dear Brahmana? Just 3 feet of land. I can give you a village. I can give half of my kingdom. I can give you so much, but why are you asking only 3 feet of land? So, but Lord, he expanded, he's so huge that, with his 1 feet, he covered all the lower planetary system. In the second, he covered all the earth and higher planetary system. So then he asked, where to keep the third feet now? So Bali Maharaj said, keep it on my head. He became fully surrendered. So that's why. So the great step forward was taken by Lord Vamanadeva, who covered the whole universe in 2 steps. Thus the word Urukrama indicates the Supreme Lord Vamanadeva. So this extraordinary feature of Lord Vamanadeva is thus explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Vishnurnu virya gananam katamo artitaha ya parthivani api kavir virame rajamshi. Chashkramba yasva ramhasa triprushtam, the 3 feet. Yasmat trisamya sadanat urukampayanam. So no one can estimate the inconceivable potency of Lord Vishnu. Even if one can count the number of atomic combinations in this material world, he still cannot count the different energies of the Supreme Lord. So even if one can count the number of atomic combinations in this material world, but still they will not be able to count the different energies of the Supreme Lord. As Vamanadeva, the Lord was so powerful that by simply stepping forward, he covered the whole universe from Brahma Loka down to Patala Loka. So this is the greatness, this is the potency of Vishnu. So to even to understand, one has to come to that platform. Which platform? Atma Rama, self-realized. So then they will be able to understand the Lord's pastimes in actuality. Then they can become devotees. So the Lord, Srimad Bhagavatam describes, different qualities of Lord Krishna, especially Nectar of Devotion. Also, Rupa Goswami elaborates the 64 qualities of Krishna. So, but out of 64, 60 are even common in the Vishnu Tattva expansions. So, but there are 4 exclusive qualities that's explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, that Sarvadbhuta Chamatkara, Lila Kallola Varidihi, Atulya Madhura Prema, Mandita Priya Mandalai. So these 4 lines, 4 exclusive qualities of Krishna is explained. Then Trijagan Manasi Karshi Murali Kala Kujitaha, Asamhordva Rupashri Vismapita Characharaha. So in these 2 verses from Bhagavatam, so Krishna's 4 qualities are explained. So what is the first quality? Sarvadbhuta Chamatkara Lila Kallola Varidihi. Chamatkara, he performs wonderful activities through Leelas. Lila Kallola Varidihi. So this is known as Lila Madhuri. The Lord performing is different confidential pastimes. So the meaning of this is that he is an unadulterating ocean of astonishing pastimes, out of which Rasa Lila is supremely captivating. Lila, Sarvadbhuta Chamatkara, Lila Kallola Varidihi. Then Atulya Madhura Prema, that is Prema Madhuri. First is Lila Madhuri, second one is Prema Madhuri or Bhakti Madhuri. He is surrounded by devotees who possesses incomparable Madhura Prema, which develops up to the stage of Mahabhava. So Atulya Madhura Prema, Mandita Priya Mandalai. Mandita means he is surrounded by Priya, his dearmost devotees. Then third quality, Trijagan Manasi Karsha Murali Kala Kujitaha. So from his Murali, by playing flute, Krishna can attract the denizens of all the 3 worlds. Trijagan Manasi Karshi can attract the minds of all these 3 planetary systems. So the sweet and that is known as Venu Madhuri. Venu is the name of the flute. Krishna actually has 3 kinds of flutes. One is Venu, Murali, Vamshi. So these are the 3 types of flutes Krishna has. So Venu Madhuri, the sweet and mellow sound of his flute attracts the minds of everyone within the 3 worlds. Then fourth quality is that Asamhordva Rupashri Vismapita Characharaha. Asamhordva, his extraordinary beauty astonishes all the moving and non-moving entity. Vismapita Characharaha. Vismita means astonishing, surprised. So his beauty is so great that his beauty attracts and astonishes all the moving and non-moving entity. How non-living entities also get attracted? It is said that in the spiritual world, even there are 5 different primary rasas. So those who are in Madhurya, those who are in Vatsalya, those who are in Sakya, so they can interact with the Lord, they can play, they can perform service to the Lord. But whereas a person who is in Shanta rasa, how we will reciprocate, how we will enjoy the Lord's pastimes. So Shanta rasa means there are oceans, there are mountains, there are rivers, there are trees, there are flower plants. So these are all devotees, those who are in the mood of Shanta rasa. So how do they enjoy? They see the Lord's pastimes. The Lord, when he is moving, when Lord is performing pastimes, they see the Lord's pastimes and they enjoy, they take relish, they take pleasure in those Lord's pastimes. So that's why it mentioned that he astonishes all moving and non-moving entities. Not only moving, non-moving entities. So that is the greatness of the Supreme Lord. So that's what the sages headed by Lord Brahma saw. As soon as they saw the Lord, the huge boar, the Lord in the form of a wild boar, so they saw Lord, he has the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they are appreciating him as Ajita, Yagna Bhavana. He's the unconquerable one. He is the one who is understood by performance of sacrifice. So they are summarizing everything, and in a beautiful verse, they are describing the different pastimes, glories of the Lord. Through that, they are offering obeisances and prayers to the Supreme Lord. With this, I'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Bol.